Most engine mods are total snake oil, pure marketing fluff that does nothing but empty your wallet. I've spent months filtering through the junk to handpick the 13 modifications actually worth your time. Every single one of these has been dyno verified, track tested, or survived the ultimate torture test, the daily commute. We're talking about a Civic gaining 11 extra miles per gallon and a V6 sleeper that absolutely embarrasses Mustang GTs. One mod was so dangerous it melted a turbo and handed one guy a $6,300 repair bill. Let's get into it. Mod number 13, Forced Induction, Turbo or Supercharger Kit. If you're serious about power, nothing, and I mean nothing, delivers like forced induction. A turbocharger or supercharger kit transforms your engine from a spirited runner into a full-on beast. Naturally aspirated engines rely on atmospheric pressure to breathe, but slap on a turbo or supercharger and you're cramming more air and more fuel into the cylinders. That means explosive combustion. That means serious horsepower. Gains of 40% to 100% or more aren't uncommon with the right setup and tune. Turbos are more efficient and make crazy power once they spool, but they can have lag. Superchargers offer instant throttle response and a linear power band, but they drain some power to make power. Both have their pros. Both make you grin like a kid on Christmas morning. But don't just bolt one on and pray. You'll need supporting mods. This is not a budget bolt-on, it's an investment. But if you want the most bang for your buck, forced induction is the ultimate mod. Just be ready. Once you boost, you'll never want to go back. Mod number 12, ECU Remap. Your engine's capable of a hell of a lot more than the factory tune allows, but the stock ECU is playing it safe. Fuel economy, emissions, smooth drivability for your grandma. That's what it's built for. You want real performance, you tune it. An ECU remap done right wakes the engine up like a shot of adrenaline. I'm talking sharper throttle, more torque, better timing, optimized fuel curves. I've tuned bone stock engines that felt like a whole new machine after a proper map. But here's the trap. Don't use garbage tunes from forums or cheap flash tools. Had a guy come in once with a bricked ECU. He tried to tune it himself off some $40 USB dongle. His car ran like trash, knocked like hell, burnt the valves, nearly torched the engine. Used legit platforms like HP tuners. Great for GM, Ford, and Dodge platforms. These aren't just fancy names. They're proven tools that pros rely on. And speaking of pros, get it tuned by someone who knows their way around a dyno. This isn't a video game. You're rewriting the brain of a car. Treat it with respect. You've just unlocked hidden power, but now that you're pushing harder, you better let that exhaust flow like it means business. Mod number 11, Performance Intercooler for Turbo Engines. You can have the biggest turbo in the world, but if your intake air is hot, your power's a joke. That's where a performance intercooler comes in. A good intercooler cools down that compressed air before it hits the combustion chamber. Cooler air equals denser air. Denser air equals more oxygen. More oxygen, more power. Simple science. We already talked about that. The stock intercooler on most turbo cars is built for emissions and economy, not power. The heat soaks fast, especially after a few hard pulls or in warm weather. Once that happens, your ECU pulls timing, your knock sensor panics, and your engine starts feeling like it's dragging a trailer uphill. Now swap in a larger front mount or upgraded top mount intercooler, and the difference is night and day. Go with proven brands. Mishimoto, Wagner Tuning. Look at core size, bar and plate design, and pressure drop ratings, and make sure it fits your setup without blocking too much airflow to the radiator. This mod doesn't just add power, it protects your engine from detonation and keeps things consistent. And now that we've cooled the charge, let's talk brains, because all that hardware is useless without control. Mod number 10, Performance Exhaust System. Ever tried driving with a clogged tailpipe? That's what your engine's dealing with on a stock exhaust. Restricted flow, heat buildup, and wasted power. A performance exhaust system sets it free. You get better flow, less back pressure, and if you do it right, real horsepower. I've installed full exhaust on Camaros, WRXs, even old Civics. Every time the motor breathes easier. Pair it with a tune, now you're talking. Torque curve smooths out, throttle response sharpens, and the sound deep controlled. But don't just bolt on the loudest thing you can find. That's rookie stuff. Too big a pipe and you kill your low end. No scavenging, no velocity, just noise. Stick with mandrel bent tubing, stainless steel if you got the coin. This isn't about being loud, it's about being efficient. Clean out the junk. Let that engine exhale with purpose. Now that she's breathing easy, let's feed it colder, denser air. Mod number 9, Performance Camshaft. This one's for the folks running naturally aspirated setups who want real mechanical power, not just bolt-on fluff. A performance camshaft is the heartbeat of your engine. It controls when your valves open, how long they stay open, and how much air and fuel get in and out. Done right, you get more top-end power, stronger mid-range, and a wicked exhaust note that lets people know you don't play. Even a mild cam upgrade when paired with match springs, push rods, and lifter can unlock an extra 30 to 40 horsepower in the right setup. Throttle response sharpens, the rev range widens, and the engine breathes like it finally came alive. But here's where rookies screw up. They slap in a big cam without checking the rest of the valve train. Wrong valve springs, bent push rods, too much lift, piston meets valve, game over. And don't even think about a cam swap without a tune. Your ECU won't know what hit it, and your idle will hunt like a lost hound. Brands like Comp Cams, Brian Tooley Racing, and Texas Speed offer excellent grinds tailored to different goals. Just remember, NA builds shine when the cam is balanced with the rest of the system. Now that the cam's got your valves dancing, let's keep that intake path clean before oil vapor turns it into a tar pit. Mod number 8, upgraded fuel injectors and pump. You ever see a car lean out under full throttle? It's not pretty. 1 second it's pulling hard, next second, boom, hole in the piston, engine's done. Why? Not enough fuel. When you start tuning, boosting, camming, whatever, you better make damn sure your fuel system can keep up. That means bigger injectors and a higher flow pump. I've upgraded dozens of setups. Hell, I had a built WRX that hit fuel cut at 5,000 RPM until we swapped in ID 1000s, and a Walbro 255. After that, clean pulls all the way to redline. Fuel is your safety net. Run lean and you're playing with fire. But don't just slap in giant injectors for future plans. Too big and your idle goes to crap, and your tuner will hate you. Match the size to your build and your goals. Precision matters here. Use quality brands. Injector, Dynamics, Dutchworks, AEM, Bosch, and always retune after fuel upgrades. Don't assume it'll figure itself out. It won't. You've got the air. You've got the spark. Now your fuel's up to the task. But all that hot compressed air, it needs to be chilled before it does real work. Mod number 7, aluminum radiator upgrade. Let me tell you what kills more engines than bad tunes and redline revving combined. Heat. I've seen head gaskets pop like popcorn because some guy thought his stock plastic radiator was fine. Fine until it cracked during a summer traffic jam and cooked the motor. An aluminum radiator ain't just about cooling, it's about protection, more core rouse, better flow, and superior heat dissipation. Whether you're boosted, cammed, or just drive hard, this is a mod that'll save your build's life. I slapped a Mishimoto unit into a customer's Turbo Civic. The car used to run 215 degrees Fahrenheit on a hard pull. After the swap, set at 185 degrees Fahrenheit all day, even in gridlock. No more heat soak, no more limp mode, but don't stop at the radiator. Replace those old rubber hoses. Check your thermostat, and make sure your fan's doing its damn job. Cooling is a system, not a single part swap. Don't leave air pockets. Seen a guy grenade a freshly built engine because he didn't burp the coolant and overheated it on the maiden voyage? You've cooled her down and bought yourself insurance. Now let's talk about controlling the beast, especially if you're pushing boost. Mod number 6, oil catch can. You ever pull an intake manifold off a direct injected engine at 40,000 miles? Looks like someone poured barbecue sauce in there. Thick, black, greasy carbon gunk choking up everything. Oil vapor getting recycled back into your intake. And modern emission systems make it worse, especially on DI engines. That's where the oil catch can comes in. Cheap, simple, and one of the best long-term mods you can do. I install one on every turbo build that rolls into my shop. Hell, even my daily car got one. It catches oil mist before it ever hits your valves, keeps the intake clean, improves combustion, and helps your engine breathe like it just got a lung transplant. I cracked open my son's GTI Catch can after 6,000 miles. Half a cup of nasty black soup. That would have gone straight into the intake valves. Not on my watch. But don't run a knockoff Amazon can with no baffles. That's just a soda can with fittings. You want proper filtration? Look at JLT, Mishimoto. I've seen guys ignore it and end up with overflow in their intercooler. You kept the engine's lungs clean. Smart move. Now let's keep her blood cool. Mod number 5, turbo timer or boost controller. Boost is beautiful, but it's also dangerous if you don't respect it. First off, a turbo timer. I don't care if you're running stock PSI or pushing big numbers. If you shut the engine off right after a hard pull, that turbo is sitting there red hot with oiled up inside the bearings. You just killed its lifespan. A turbo timer lets the engine idle for a minute or two after shutdown, keeps oil flowing, lets the turbo cool down properly. I've had turbos last over 120,000 miles just because the timer did its job. Now, boost controller, manual or electronic. This is how you command the pressure. Stock boost levels are fine for warranty-safe driving, but when you want more grunt and your tune can handle it, a good controller lets you dial it in without spiking or surging. I like TurboSmart for manual setups. For electronics, go with HKS or AEM. Reliable, repeatable, built to handle abuse. But let me be clear, don't crank the dial unless the engine's built for it. I've seen pistons turned into ashtrays from overboosting on stock internals. Don't be that guy. We're commanding boost now, but more air means nothing without the fuel to back it up. And trust me, one wrong move with a turbo setup can cost you thousands. Mod number 4, cold air intake. This one's tricky. Cold air intakes get hyped to hell. Every 19-year-old with a socket set thinks slapping on a shiny pipe makes them a race car engineer. Most of them are just sucking in hot engine bay air and losing power. But a properly designed cold air intake placed outside the heat zone, sealed off, pulling fresh, dense air, that's a real upgrade. I installed one on a 6th Gen Camaro with a heat shield and fender well scoop, paired it with a tune, picked up 10 to 15 horsepower at the wheels. Not bad for bolt-on and done right, but here's where folks screw it up. They buy a generic pipe off eBay, throw it on near the exhaust manifold, and wonder why their car feels sluggish. It ain't about looks, it's about air temperature. Cooler air packs more oxygen. More oxygen means better combustion. Simple science. We've got air coming in cold and clean now. But what if I told you we could make the engine spin easier too? Mod number 3, lightweight pulley kit. Most folks chase horsepower. They forget about freeing it up. That's where lightweight pulleys come in. Think of it like this. Your engine spinning belts all day. Alternator, power steering, water pump. The heavier those pulleys, the more energy your engine wastes just turning its own guts. Swap them for lightweight aluminum or underdrive pulleys. You now have less rotational drag. The engine revs quicker, feels snappier, not more horsepower, but more usable power. I put a full set on an old 350Z. Felt like I shaved 200 pounds off the crank. Throttle picked up faster, downshifts hit harder, no ECU tune needed. But here's where people mess up. They go too light on the crank pulley and throw off the harmonic balance. That can wreck your bearings or even snap a crankshaft over time. This ain't a lawnmower, it's an engine. Balance matters. And for daily drivers, I skip the underdrive on alternators. Dimming headlights at idle ain't worth the gain. This is one of those sneaky mods. You don't notice it on paper, but the feel behind the wheel is huge. And if you're into mods that actually feel like something, go ahead and smash that like button. Share this with a buddy who's chasing power and subscribe for more top upgrades that make a real difference. Mod number 2, upgraded spark plugs and ignition coils. You can have all the air and fuel in the world, but if your sparks are weak, you're dead in the water. Upgrading your spark plugs and coils is one of the most overlooked performance mods out there. But let me tell you, it makes a difference. Cleaner burn, stronger ignition, more efficient combustion, and on-tuned engines, it's mandatory. I did a coil and plug swap on a modded GTI that was misfiring at high RPMs. Misfire's gone. Felt like a new car. Now don't get cute with plug heat ranges. If you're boosted, you go 1 or 2 steps colder. And don't mismatch junk coils from 5 different eBay sellers. Wasted time, fried the ECU trying to troubleshoot. It's not just about performance, it's reliability. You get stronger spark, better cold starts, and even a tiny MPG bump. You upgraded the fire. Now it's time to control the timing of that fire. Mod number 1, high flow air filter. First time I saw someone swap a stock air filter for a high flow one, I laughed, thought it was a gimmick. But then I drove the damn car. Throttle felt snappier, idle was smoother. MPG ticked up just a bit. I shut my mouth real quick. A high-flow air filter lets your engine breathe the way it wants to breathe. Stock filters are fine if you're just grocery getting. But if you give a damn about performance or long-term reliability, upgrade it. I've put these on trucks, tuners, old muscle, daily beaters, you name it. Better air in, better performance out.